Hello. So if you've been seeing designs like this or that, and you're wondering what this is all about, I am Aisha, and welcome to 3D Fashion 101. This is a series I am building for anyone who wants to understand the future of fashion design. In this first episode, we are starting from the very beginning. What is 3D fashion? Because when I first heard it myself, I was kind of confused. I wasn't sure what it is about. Is it real? Is it just computer graphics? Do you use it for gaming? What exactly is the purpose of 3D fashion design? By the end of this video, you understand what 3D fashion is, the tools, and why this is the most valuable thing you can learn in the fashion industry right now. So let's get into it. Let's start simple. Traditional design versus 3D design. In traditional design, you start first with sketch, and when you're done sketching, you go ahead to make your pattern pieces. After making your pattern pieces, you cut your fabric and then you sew. The next thing after you cut and sew is to fit your fabric, probably on your mannequin or on your client. When you're done fitting, if there's need for adjustment, you adjust, you fit again, and then if there's any final adjustment, you adjust, you fit till you get to your final design. Or when you're done cutting and you sew, you fit. And there are times that when you're done fitting, you need to go back to your drawing board, which is your pattern making. Then you go back again to cut, to sew, to fit, to adjust, and final. So the cycle repeats all over and all over again until you're done getting your desired result. In 3D design, it's a different game ball. You start with your sketch or your mood board, and then when you're done with your sketch or mood board, you go to your 3D design where you use some tools or software to create your sketch or your images in 3D. Instead of cutting a real fabric, you're working with a digital fabric. Instead of a real mannequin, you're working with a digital mannequin. And instead of a real photo shoot, you can render a realistic image on any background you want. And when you're done with digitizing your sketch, the next thing you can do is make a sample, or you decide to print your pattern pieces directly from your software if you use the right measurements, and then you go ahead and make the final product. Easy peasy, right? This isn't just a trick. We have brands who use this pipeline and then it works out well for them. This saves them a lot of cost, time, and energy. Now you might be wondering, why should I care? Whether you're a designer, a student, or someone who is just interested in fashion tech, here is why it matters. Number one, sustainability. Fashion industry is one of the most wasteful industry in the world. Every time a brand makes a physical sample, they are using labor, thread, fabric, and shipping costs just to check if a design works. With 3D design, brands can approve a wide range of digital collections before cutting a single fabric. Yes, that is possible, and that is a huge reduction in waste. Number two, speed. Physical samples can take 4 to 6 weeks per round. Digital sampling can happen in hours. And with this, brands can move faster, react to trend faster, and they get products on the market faster. Three is opportunity. And I say this because this is a relatively new skill in the industry. Even though not all brands are getting in with their flow, but this is the right time for you to learn it so that when the demand for it soars higher, you'll be at the front line. And if you're a fashion designer yourself, this would help improve your workflow and make things easier for you. So what softwares are we actually talking about? In 3D fashion, you will hear mostly of one, which is Cloud 3D, which is the industry standard for garment simulation. It is specifically built for real-time garment simulation. It has pattern making tools, fabric physics, avatar fitting, and rendering all in one single place. If you want to work with brands professionally, I would definitely recommend number one for you, which is Clo Virtual Fashion. And the second one is Marvelous Designer. I'm sure you must have heard of Marvelous Designer or Clo 3D. Which one is better? This is the closest competition to Clo 3D, and it is owned by the same company. Marvelous Designer is very popular with game designers and artists who need real-time fabric simulation in their works. That's 3D is another tool that I personally use for my avatars and accessories. You might not necessarily get into it if what you just want is real-time fabric simulation and pattern making and whatnot. But if you're trying to take it a step further and try to add more avatars rather than having just one single type that you customize, that 3D has a wide range of that in a marketplace where you have to buy. The software is free, but you have to buy your accessories. And the last but not the least is Blender. Blender is a free open source tool that does everything, be it modeling, animation, rendering, and clothing. It does all of it too. The difference is that it is not purpose built like Cloth 3D. It is an incredibly powerful tool for styling and creating editorial visuals. A lot of 3D fashion creators actually use Cloth 3D and Blender together. And I am a typical example. I use Cloth 3D to create my beautiful garment pieces and I render them very well, and I render them visually in Blender. In this Model 1 series, we are going to be focusing primarily on Cloth 3D because it is the most direct path to working professionally in 3D. And before I wrap up, I want to address something. You might be wondering if this is for you. Maybe you've never used 3D software before. Maybe you don't have a fashion background. You're a fashion student who has never touched a computer design tool. This series is designed for all of you, starting from absolute zero. No prior 3D experience is required. If you can comfortably use a computer, then you can learn this. Over the next few weeks, which is the part 1 of this series, we are going to go from what 3D fashion is, which we just did today, all the way to creating your first digital garment, working with textures, and eventually building your 3D fashion portfolio. Each episode is going to build on the last, and I will recommend that you follow in order. If you don't want to miss any episode, hit subscribe and turn on notification. I post every Monday. So this is episode 1. What is 3D fashion design? So next week in episode 2, we are going to go head to head, Cloth 3D versus Blender, and probably show you some tools in that 3D, what each software does, and which one you should start with. And that is actually going to be a very useful one if you're deciding on where to invest your time. If you found this helpful, please leave a comment below and let me know what part of 3D fashion you're most curious about. I will read every single comment, so it helps me plan for future episodes.